So we have a snow replay for you today. I'm on Radeon with Snow spawning here in the top right, playing on his more conventional Smurf name Buy.Snow1, and he is playing against a Korean Zerg with the alias Smiles. I have not done a PvZ in a really long time. I was feeling incredibly keen on doing one. I actually had the Snow versus BTS game queued up, and then I saw that JJZ costed on his channel, and I was like, all right, okay, well, fair enough. As opposed to giving YouTube duplicate games fairly close to each other, maybe I can find some other Protoss versus Zerg practice from Snow and bring that to you guys, and that's pretty much what we're doing here today. So there's been a bit of chatter in the world that Protoss versus Zerg is most definitely Snow's weakest match. I think it's fair. I think he's admitted it himself. So it's quite cool to see what changes and tweaks he would be practicing in his game. Don't get me wrong, he's still an absolute beast in this game in general and in this match. I think it's probably only the most elite of Zerg players that give him a little bit of problems. People like Sulky, people like Soma. So let's see how he goes today against Smile. I'm actually really looking forward to this. Hit that like button if you are as well. I'm on around 630 subs at this stage. Maybe more, maybe less. There's always a little gap between when I make these videos and when they come out. My goal is trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2026. So if you are a regular viewer and you haven't yet subscribed, please do, because it'll help me reach that goal, which will be a pretty cool feeling. I think it's always a little milestone for anybody who does any kind of YouTube to reach that 1,000 subscriber mark. And so I've earmarked getting there by the end of the year. I think that'll be really nifty. Okay, so we've got a Nexus first, Forge into Gateway. So a pretty standard open from Snow. He isn't going to be applying any kind of zealot pressure. We will keep an eye on how long he keeps the scouting probe alive for, because that's going to give him the information he needs to understand when Zerg is taken third hatch, and potentially if the Zerg is going lair, or if it's going to be some kind of Hydra bust. So cannon coming in. He's got the scouting intel that he needs to know what sort of ling count to expect. It's going to come up here now, count the eggs, see what comes out of them, and then he'll know whether or not a second cannon will be necessary. I think simply by the fact that he's walled in here quite snugly, I don't think we'll be seeing a second cannon anyway. And this looks like a pretty solid... He picked up a drone here. That was insane. He actually got the drone on gas. Well done. This probe's got a kill. You see that? Very subtle, very quick. Very nicely done. Indeed. Alright, well, Radeon lends itself to some pretty fun games. We're doing the Cybernetics core on the low ground, which is an optimization. Obviously, you didn't have the pylon available, and you get the extra supply from going Nexus first. So this just gives you an opportunity as Protoss to get your Stargate even faster. We are doing our third hatchery on location in the bottom corner here, which tells me Mutalisks. So we'll keep an eye on whether that prediction is true. We do tend to see that as a pattern. These weirdly located on location thirds from our Zerg is telling us that is going to be a lair. The fact that we're also getting ling speed tells me absolutely that this is going to be a muta open with some sort of transition from there. We're not seeing, so our Overlord is in perfect position here. We're not seeing a spinning forge, so we're probably not expecting some kind of zealot timing. If we are Zerg and we have to have a hunch of what's happening, in all likelihood, Protoss is just doing a standard Stargate opening with some Corsair pressure, and we'll see how this game transitions. So our probe has been diligently hunting for the third base of our Zerg and is going to find it. And the question that will come from that is, will that trigger a little move out of some zealots? I think it's useful to do this from a Protoss point of view, even if you don't intend on engaging. If you show the zealots, he's going to lose his probe now. That's very nicely done with the speedlings. If you show the zealots, which is what he's doing here to the Overlord, right, then it triggers potentially some additional lings or a sunken, okay? So that's what you want to see. By the way, guys, I see a robotics facility in the production tab. So I smell Reaver shenanigans in a PvZ. I didn't watch the full JJZ game of BTS. I was still getting over the emotional scarring of him stealing my game. I'm just joking. But I didn't watch the whole game. But I got the read up on it, which was he went Mass Dragoon in PvZ, which is a thing that isn't really done. But of course, this is Snow. And Snow does do snowy things, as we well know. So, now we see an early rover. I do have a game on my channel. I laugh about this because I cast this game on my channel. It was quite some time ago. And I accidentally botched the settings in my OBS. So I commentated the entire game, but none of the commentary came through. And instead of me just going, you know what, it's not your day, mate, let it be, I released the game with no commentary, right? I just put a picture of Snow and a whole lot of Reavers, and that game got a whole crap load of views. So that that made me feel so good as a commentator, going, well, apparently you guys don't need me. As long as you've got Snow and whatever fun things he does, then you'll be more than entertained. So that one always sticks out in my memory. There's not much here. So this little zealot move out could get a few drones. There's one sunken that's about to finish up, but it's pretty low health already. He's going to have to do some work here with his lings. So we'll keep an eye on how much damage he gets. We have 4 relatively healthy zealots still going strong here. Runs around the back. This is going to be a nuisance to trade efficiently, and definitely a nuisance to deal with. Snow is piling up a little bit of money behind this. He's hit most of his workers, because you usually stop workers at 7.5 minutes on about 45 probes. So still is looking on track. Behind this, he's getting +1 for his Corsairs. As we can see here, also sending a zealot down here to be a nuisance. And he is getting speed for those shuttles. The question that I have, and I kind of probably already have a hunch as to what the answer is the mutas are going to be countered with cannons and Corsairs. The Hydras, if our Zerg pivots into that technology, are going to be fought with some pretty nifty Reaver micro, or at least that's what my expectation would be. So you can see we do have four Corsairs at the moment. We've got our first Reaver out. So Reaver's in a PvZ to double Stargate Reaver. Okay, wow. So I think that's what we're going to call this game. Snow does double Stargate Reaver in a PvZ. And I think it's going to be entertaining. I love how this Zerg is spreading up the map and getting so much visibility. He sends his Ling here and scouts the sneaky expansion, which Snow has to immediately cancel. So really, really good scouting here from Smiles. I'm sure he's smiling right now. Yeah, you guys don't pay me for my jokes, man. So don't give me too much of a hard time if they're stinky. Alright, Reavers arrived. Boom! Dead drones! Got about 4 there. That was nice. Very nice. Scourge now, though. So the question will be, how good is his Scourge sniping? No. Okay, did get a few hits there. But this is the key combination of units, isn't it? It's the Corsairs. Ooh, picks up those Lings nice and neatly. And it's just... I wonder if... I don't know. I reckon Snow is probably trolling. He's playing on a relatively low MMR on this account for the most part. The By Snow alias is on a A rank. It's not on an S rank. So he definitely does tank this MMR to troll around a bit. But a part of me does wonder, does he not want to just be a meta breaker and decide, you know what, screw the conventional way that this game is played. I'm the best player with Reavers in the world. I'm going to make it that Reavers become a standard part of PvZ. I mean, what other reason does he have to practice this? I mean, sure, it's entertaining. Sure, it's fun. Sure, it makes for great streaming content. But why not? Why not be a pioneer? Did anybody stop Flash from inventing builds? No. So let's get behind Snow here in the comments, guys. Let's encourage him to make Reavers a thing in PvZ. Let's go. We have got plenty of Corsairs. So the limited amount of attacking units that Snow has does certainly open up the door for Smiles to expand, which is what he's doing. He's on 4 bases already, relatively early. A couple of Overlord picks. Unfortunately, having a single Reaver against all of these Hydras, as good as your micro is, it's going to require you Do not make a single micro slip. So then you'll just knock 1 down, knock 2 down, knock 3 down, knock 4 down. Easy game. Easy game. What are you guys even worried about? He kills a lava for fun. I mean, who the hell kills a lava? This guy, that's who. Anyway, let's keep an eye on the mini-map and not get too excited on the individual action. Otherwise, we're going to miss things. Just looks like a mistimed worker transfer here. And we are still flying around with our Corsairs. This one singular Reaver has had such a good time of it. I'd love to get a kill count on him. I think I'm going to get rid of my panel now just to get some good view here. But I just want to see when he drops in, what's his kill count? Oh, so I got rid of the panel. The worst possible moment. What a dinkum I am. 22! Mate, that is insane. One Reaver, guys. One Reaver. I gotta get this kill count. It just keeps making scarabs. It's very, very inconvenient for me. Oh, man. So good. I can just picture him laughing his ass off here. Careful. There we go. Gets him. Wants to get us around here. There was a very, very, very short window period where we had the kill count on that Reaver. He's having a good time. So, the question on the table is, how do you transition from this if you snow? He's making more Reavers. He has a whole bunch here. $29. $30. I don't even know if this is helping that much. He's not that far ahead in supply. His Zerg opponent's got heaps of econ. He can add to his drone count without a problem. Like, I'm having a lot of fun. I'm sure we all are watching this micro on display. It's great. But I mean, how is he doing in the game? How many Reavers do we have here? A fair number. It's just one Reaver. One Reaver. It's like the Chad Reaver. Uh-oh. Gets a few connections. None on the actual... Oh, that's gonna dud. Oh no, he gets one Hydra. None on the shuttle. I think you might have hit one. The shuttle's shields are quite low. So we've got now more than one shuttle coming in here. Choop. And he's going D-web as well. Why not? Why not? You know? When you're casting spells, cast all the spells. This is the most trolly thing ever. He does get himself a third base pretty quick. And a very difficult to break fourth base. Is that the thing that scales here well in this game? That would make a lot of sense, right? Oh, Scourge are the most infuriating unit. There it is. Just your standard mass Corsair, mass Reaver, PVZ. Let's go. We got a lot of bases at Zerg, right? 1, 2, 3. So 5 bases versus a 4-basing Protoss. This is not yet established and saturated, so it has to still become such. Looks like we are moving out with mass Hydras here. Potentially positioning to pressure this position, which is well fortified with cannons and Reavers. It's going to be very hard to break. That does seem to be the plan, though. Throws on some D-webs as well. I don't know to what extent the D-webs help, but he's got the energy in the Corsairs. So why not use it? Still just doing these nuisance Reaver drops. Oh, it is so fun and so cruel. It is cruel. It is mean. Okay, base number 4 is up and running, saturated. Doesn't have the gas yet. Doesn't seem to be doing a too gas heavy build anyway, so it shouldn't matter much, at least for now. It's kind of just left these muters here. Got pods of hydras here. He's just basically parking it here and flexing his APM. I don't know anyone else who could do this with the level of effortlessness with which he does it. It's just crazy fun. Really, really. Get this pod too. Come on. Boom. I can't even keep the counts on the Reavers. I can't. It's just not like human. If it's the same Reaver he's had the whole time, it's going to have a crazy kill count. 50, 60. Holy cow. Oh, I've got to get that. I've got to get that count. That is just nuts. 61. On a single Reaver. No, man. Go away. And he cannot kill the shuttle. The shuttle has like remained the whole game. So it's a somewhat ridiculous scenario. Oh my god. Now there's carriers. Yeah, there's carriers. So he's made none of the normal units in this match. So the normal units in this match are Zealots, Corsairs, Dragoons, High Templars, and then eventually Archons if the Zerg techs into Hive Tech. And Reavers are used in very, very late game to defend against Darkswarp. Okay? So we've just done everything totally the opposite of how this match works almost ever. What I will say though is that Smile still has a lot of bases. So it's by no means that he's out of this match. The question will just be, at what point can either player start to contest their opponent's bases? And with what units will they try and do it? I think it's kind of obvious that Snow will do it with Corsairs, Reavers, and now also some carriers that enter the fray. And I guess the question will be how well fortified or protected will the Zerg be against carriers? So we've got Corsair, Carrier, Reaver. Nothing like your standard PvZ action here. Got some queens in their game as well. Seems to be pretty much where all of the action is contained. And this was obviously Snow's plan. Get up to 4 bases, get up a reasonable critical mass of carriers. They have been ensnared. I think because they carry interceptors, it slows down their movement, but it doesn't slow down their attack speed. I think the interceptors still kind of function the same way. But it is a means to try and buy time. Our Zerg looks to be making a second Hydralisk Den. I don't know why, because you already have one here. A Greater Spire, and getting some Flyer Carapace and just moving on with their upgrades. So that's sensible enough. Perhaps the move is to try and pick off some of these outer bases. Pretty much both players are maxed out, so we should get some big fights here now, which is going to be fun. 4 Stargates. Both players now banking up some money, but Snow banking up significantly more. And I think he's now going to start trying to contest for bases. A lot of Hydras though, so it's Hydras against the carriers, and the question will be, will Snow micro some shuttles to use Reavers to reduce the Hydra count? So Jesus, that just evaporated that hatchery. And sending in some supporting Corsairs to pick off Overlords. You can see it's raining interceptors. It is absolutely crazy. There goes the Hive. There goes pretty much all the tech. A little bit of disruption web in here as well. This is not the kind of picture you're going to see in this match very often. The Hydras want to come and fight with the Corsairs and the carriers, but they run away. So that's one of the downsides of having able to access everything by ground. So this is working pretty well. Our Reavers are all just being used in a defensive position, not to attack at all. All of the heavy lifting here is being done by the carriers. The Corsairs are there to presumably intercept any Scourge and any remaining mutas, of which there are just a handful, and they all evaporate almost instantly. Just picking off these hatcheries so quickly. So maybe just made the other Hydra Den in the event that he lost the main base, which he did not do entirely, but did lose a lot of the key tech. Did remake it here. Oh wow, this is just a scene that you just do not expect ever. What a game! It's got so many thumbnail candidates and so many titles and descriptions. It's going to be a tricky one to title, but it's a good problem to have. It's a good problem to have. This game is so worth watching. Just such an enjoyable, fun player. So creative and entertaining. Banking up heaps of cash. Doing this whole thing on 4 bases. And still concentrating on microing efficiently. Not just wasting any units. Not just leaving his units here on A move. These poor Hydras, they're getting so gassed by racing after these carriers and not being able to catch them. The only reason they can't catch them isn't necessarily because they're slower, but it's because they've got to go via ground, whereas our carriers can go as the crow flies, as they say. And just the speed with which the hatcheries are picked off is just absolutely insane. You watch this and you think to yourself, why wouldn't everybody always go carriers in this match? And I think the answer is because it doesn't usually work. Snow's just kind of... Giga made this work with some fundamentally good macro initially. Getting his base count up, getting his work count where it needs to be. And then just building up a nice critical mass of carriers. Doing a decent amount of macro. Decent amount of micro with some solid macro behind. And that's why and how good players make things look so incredibly easy. He's going to pick off a nice, juicy amount of drones here. So if you're Zerg, what do you do? Apparently, you're struggling now with money. And the reason you're struggling with money is that you've got 1 hatchery here, you've got none here, none here, none here, and you're rebuilding 1 here. So knocking the hatcheries down is such devastating damage. I mean, Snow's been maxed out. Oh, we got some Dark Swarm. That's fun. Snow's been maxed out now for at least a few minutes. And so he's banking up so much cash. He's got absolutely no worries in the world here. Whereas our Zerg is just scrambling to be able to mine a single mineral. It's crazy. Alright, so we should see Snow now get a bit more ruthless. Tidy this up, get this done. He doesn't want Hydras to be made, so picks off the Hydra Den very easily. Pesky little Spore isn't going to be much of a problem for the speed with which the buildings fall. It's just unbelievable. You got to feel a little bit sorry for the Zerg. Like he didn't do a whole lot wrong. He just matched against this guy. Maybe a counterattack? But then again, you counterattack into this. I mean, ew. I don't think that's a very attractive option, do you? I don't think it is, man. Hydra's now running away, presumably to fortify this spot where we're making a heap of spores. So the spores will predominantly fire at interceptors. He does snow just for good measure, using his disruption web. All the tools and tricks of the trade coming out here for sure. I don't even the Hydras know what to fire at, when to fire at it. Ah, this is fun. This is why we do this. This is why I've missed Protoss versus Zerg. Actually, no, this isn't why I've missed Protoss versus Zerg, but it is fun to do snow games. It is fun to do and to see what silly troll stuff he comes up with. It's nice just to mix it up. I've done a lot of toggles and autosis games and stuff recently. And I hadn't done any of the Korean pros in a little while. Oh, we did get some cut through with our Scourge there, which was nicely done. So it was nice to come back and do some snow games. And the ladder's reset recently, so a lot of the players are kind of starting fresh on the ladder. This must be the 4th or 5th Hydra Den, by the way, that's been picked off. So a lot of cool players, or players that haven't been laddering that much, have suddenly popped up, like Rain, for example. So we'll be trawling through Seawall in the next few months, and we'll be bringing you all of your favorite Korean players amongst the others that we're enjoying doing so much. So we'll keep mixing it up, we'll keep having fun, and we'll keep taking on board the lovely feedback and comments that we get every video. And we really appreciate it. So thank you for all of those that continue to support and continue to do that. There isn't really too much more to commentate on. Snow is just basically wrapping up and putting the finishing touches on this mollywhopping that he has given this chap. I reckon he should have probably GG'd a while ago, especially considering he's on 75 supply, 48 drones. But I think he's going to make Snow finishing him off. So look, it is what it is. I will be doing some more PVZs. Flash has returned to the ladder, so we'll definitely be doing some Flash games. Sulky's returned to the ladder. When I say returned, they've been playing some ladder games recently. We're doing some more Sulky games. We're doing some more scan games. We'll be on the lookout for Jedong if we can find anything. We'll be on the lookout for Best. I did see a couple of games coming through from him recently as well. So we'll be mixing in the pros, all the ones that you love and enjoy. Looking for some Soma games as well, if they are good. And if I can, I will definitely look for some more snow games, especially if he's trolling and having fun like he did in this game, because this was a whole shit ton of fun. I think he's just laughing on stream, that evil smirky laugh that he does while he destroys what is left of his opponent who's actually already left the building. This was a lot of fun, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I will be back again very soon. Until next time, you take it easy.